there was a developer, and he came out and said some interesting things. And when he said it, it just validates everything that we've said about the gaming space, especially in the West. However, even he, because he kind of knew, was reluctant to mention it at all, which lets me know that there's plenty of y'all out there in secrecy and you know what's going down. So this Dale Walker, as stated in his bio, he's a game artist. He's done stuff for Naughty Dog, Rocksteady, and Respawn. And this is what he said. This is what popped it off. There's been a handful of times I've pitched black women characters that look like this. I'm referring to this black woman. Then, after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without a speck of original beauty I pitched. He even expands right here. Well, you see this gal right here, and then you see whatever the fuck that is. Dale Walker says, I'm not talking about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I hate giving, this is what lets you know that he said it with reluctance. Because he says, I hate giving Gamergate men fuel. Basically what he's saying is that this is not something that is permissible. He's not supposed to be able to say that. And he says, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back like grocery store aunties. The way he said that, lets me know he had that shit bottling up, bro. There is room for both. Again, he's saying what we all said. They uglify these women. And it's sad. It's pretty obvious when you see, like, they will, you've seen models that, like, you'll see the character, right, that they're basing it off of. And they look way better in person than they do in the video game. Make that make sense. But, unfortunately, Dale Walker got the call. They phoned him up, said, hey, wait a minute now. You wanna have a successful career here, right? You don't want to be validating the opinions of those evil people, right? You need to kind of get back in line. And so Dale Walker, as of a couple of days after saying all of what I showed you, this is what he says. After some private DMs today with other black devs, I will no longer be publicly discussing black representation in games for the foreseeable future. No more panels, articles, podcasts, nothing. This is a defeated man. This is not up for discussion, nor is it an invitation to try to change my mind. Cheers. Now, I'm not speculating here. What does the first sentence say there, guys? After some private DMs from other black devs. This is him telling us he quite literally got messages from his peers, and they basically told him to get in step. Now, I think it's a problem. Of course, I don't believe that he should have folded. I don't care what side of the political spectrum or social spectrum that you are on, or the autistic spectrum. I don't care. Anybody should be able to point out the factual information. See, they get so hell-bent on who's right, whose opinions being justified, instead of looking at, like, okay, what does the evidence suggest? Damn who it came from. Doesn't matter if it's from your political or social enemy, right? Doesn't matter. Is it a correct position? And you can have it. You don't even have to validate the positions of those that maybe you disagree with socially on any given topic, for that matter. It doesn't matter. And I don't think anybody's expecting or anticipating that you go and say, well, that young Ripper 5'9" guy was right. You don't got to say any of that shit. All you have to do is just say what you did. And that's what it actually is. And unfortunately, that was too much for him. Well, maybe not for him, but for the people that were around him. And they said, bro, you got to get in step. Doesn't change the fact that, well, he said what he said. So, I mean, kind of cat's out the bag, but it's unfortunate that he did end up folding. That's unfortunate. Thanks for watching. Be sure to head over to Rippaverse.com to check out our comic book company. We have books, plenty of merchandise, and even some glorious animations from Rippaverse Studios.